Gentleman's Guide.
What up, what up? It's your boy B Barnes. This is the Gentleman's Guide podcast, where we seek to unpack manhood one day at a time. I believe part of unpacking manhood is to show many different perspectives and also to show that we as Black men in America are not a monolithic group. With that said, it's my pleasure to have with us today one of my NC State brothers, photographer, fashion designer, everything in between, my bro, Jay Robertson, aka the Slim Creator. What's going on, man?
What's up?
How you been, man?
Good, man. Just taking it day by day.
Yeah.
During this pandemic we going through.
Yeah, man. Try not to lose my mind. That's what I always say, you know.
Exactly.
Right. Before we dive into the conversation, we got to get the plugs in, bro. We got to get the plugs in. Where can the people reach you? How? Just let them know who you are, who is the Slim Creative, everything.
Well, you can reach me on Twitter. I'm kind of on Twitter, not really, but I'll be on there sometimes. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram are all at the Slim Creative. And then you can reach my lifestyle brand, Grtnes Company, at Grtnes Company. That's Grtnes and Company. And that's on Instagram and Facebook as well.
So as a creative, how have you really made it through, man? I mean, has it been easier for you? I know obviously as a photographer, the whole social distance thing, that's a weird dynamic to move around. So
we started quarantining hard in March. That's when things got shut down. And coming into 2020, I had a lot of things planned. I was supposed to put on some more art shows. I was going to do some more events for young creatives. I had a lot planned, and a lot of income was coming my way.
Gotcha.
I had a few weddings coming my way, which I don't do anymore for other reasons. But once March hit and things just kind of stopped, like I saw my monthly income drop like by 80%.
Wow.
So it hit hard when it hit, because the nature of my business is being, in front of people.
Exactly.
Like talking with people, fellowshipping with people, like just that's who I am. I'm a people person.
Exactly.
And my business is centered around that. So the first month, 2 months, March, April, May, it was pretty rough.
Yeah, I could see that, man. I know a lot of people, it affected people in many different ways. A lot of people got laid off. So I think I say the one plus behind having your own business is, you can't lay yourself off, but on the flip side is, things slow down,
Yeah, there's really, like, that's one of the drawbacks of having your own business, is that you have control over what you do, but the marketing and stuff like that, you're under their control. Like, if things stop. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? And it gave me time to realize that I need to expand kind of what I do, just so I can have that security that some of these, other bigger companies have.
Right. I know you mentioned Grtnes Company, which is from what I understand, that's your newest venture, business, clothing line, brand. Could you dive a little more into what Grtnes Company is all about?
Yeah. So Grtnes Company is something that was birthed out of an old clothing line I used to have back when I was still in undergrad at NC State. Go with Pat.
Go Pat.
Called Cherry Dork Apparel.
Yes, sir. I remember those days.
Yep. Everybody remembers C. Yep. And that was a way to raise money and awareness for a nonprofit we had called More Than Dance, where we put on different workshops and after school programs and stuff for kids, and since it was a nonprofit, we didn't have money for it. So we started, selling t-shirts and stuff at at the workshops, and that went on for a while, and it was good. But the company More Than Dance, for reasons the universe had, just didn't work out. But I still had Cherry.dork, the clothing line based from the company. So I kind of carried that along for another 2-3 years, even after. And I kind of just lost passion for it because it didn't have a purpose behind it anymore.
Gotcha.
So that was probably like 2014.
Yeah.
2015, the last time I did anything for Cherry.dork. So
wow.
Fast forward to now, Grtnes Company was something that I was sitting on. I'd say the name came to me in like 2018. That branch from Cherry.dork, the Grtnes, because I had an idea to make like a workout line or a fitness line or something like that, just an active line.
Yeah.
It was gonna be called Grtnes, but it's gonna be a branch off Cherry.dork. So I kept Grtnes, and just sat on it and just kind of marinated on it, and was just like, I'm gonna use this for something else.
Yeah.
So fast forward to 2018, I came up with a concept of having a brand that purpose and focus was not just making money or making clothes. It was to actually have a message and a purpose behind it. And that purpose is to give creatives, specifically Black creatives, because a lot of companies want to tiptoe around what their purpose is and who it's for, but it's for Black creatives.
Let's be clear. Right.
Let's be clear.
Yeah.
Anybody can support Black, white, brown. It don't matter, but your support is going towards Black creatives and the Black community. So, so the purpose of Grtnes Company is to give back and promote the Black community and the Black creatives. And we do this in 3 ways. One is creating dope, comfortable clothing. 2 is I'm going to create a marketplace for other Black brands to have a place to, get more exposure and sell their products. And then 3, I'm actually starting a Grtnes Scholarship Fund for seniors.
Okay.
Just to have some money in their pockets going in, because we both know college is expensive, and it only gets more expensive year after year.
Yeah,
and with
crazy.
everything going on, like, I don't even know what college is really going to even look like. So we want to create a scholarship for them that they can apply to with an essay. Like, tell me what does greatness mean to you? What do you want to do in the future that makes you great? And then on top of the scholarship fund, we also are going to start a small business fund in the form of a grant for the Black youth that may not want to go to college, but they want to start a business.
Oh, that's amazing, man. That's a dope concept.
Because I went to college, but I'm also a small business owner, and so did my wife. But there's college isn't for everyone.
Exactly. Yeah.
And we have to stop pushing that.
I was about to say that. I feel like that motto has been pushed on us, and people get so caught up in getting a degree, and they miss out on certain passions of their own that they get caught up in getting a 9-to-5, which ain't nothing wrong with a 9-to-5. Ain't nothing wrong with getting a career in an office or a cubicle or whatever. There's nothing wrong with that, but don't steer away from your passion if it's something that you can do and use to impact other people.
Exactly. And if you're following that passion and you can monetize it, great. If not, it's okay. You can still have something on the side and work a 9-to-5. It's perfectly okay. Yeah. And the people that think it's not are hustling backwards.
Yeah. Yeah. With that said, I know you mentioned Cherry.dork, and I wouldn't phrase it as this, but I know something that you said, it just naturally came to an end for, a number of reasons. But in general, as far as, photography and being creative and art, what is your biggest failure and what did you learn from it, just in general?
Mm. I wouldn't call it necessarily a failure,
Mm-hmm.
but so I went to NC State for graphic design. Went through the graphic design program, ended up leaving the graphic design program and going into humanities and social sciences to study art
Chaz.
applications. Yeah, because I wanted some more freedom. I didn't like my whole life schedule in college being, already written down. Like I couldn't join any clubs or any teams or anything like that. It was just so strenuous. So I left. So with that being said, after I graduated, I was in the graphic design field, mostly in the print industry, which was my 9-to-5 career path. But I also had a freelance business called Days Designs that I was doing, and it wasn't that it failed. It just that it wasn't making me the money that I thought I was going to make.
Gotcha.
So I kind of just kept it along and was picking up these little tiny itsy bitsy jobs here and there.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I'm doing something. I'm successful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got
And
you.
I was like looking at it, like I took a step back and looked at it and was like, this really ain't making no money like that. Like it's not for the hours I'm putting in and the time I'm putting in. It's not that very successful. So
yeah. And this was specifically, I know you did a lot of design, like logo design, branding, that sort of thing for a while. That's not something that you're delving into currently? Is that accurate?
no.
Or
So yeah, that's what I was going into. Like, so I stopped Days Designs. I rebranded it as the Slim Creative. Because you are your brand, and people trust brands that they know that they have feel like a personal connection with. And I'm Slim. That's who I am. That's my name. People know me as Slim. So I rebranded as Slim Creative, and then kind of narrowed down what I did, which was branding websites
gotcha.
And stuff like that. But I just lost passion for it. Like it wasn't fun. Like I didn't enjoy doing it.
Yeah, I
keep it on 100.
Yeah, I would say a lot of people get caught up in the grind and going hard for what I'm saying, your brand or your music or whatever that art is. That it's okay to lose that enthusiasm that you had in the beginning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, your gift is going to be your gift, regardless of how it's manifested. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's a good message to send out. You know what I'm saying, to the up and coming artists out there. Which really leads me to my next question is, what's some advice that you would give to somebody who's up and coming, that's looking to pursue, somewhere in the arts, whether it be photography, design, anything of that nature? What advice would you give those people?
Piggybacking off the last question, I learned that it's okay to take breaks and to step back from things. Because when you have your own business or your own brand or your own anything, the only person that's forcing you to do that is you. So you have to be the one telling yourself to be like, hey, I'm getting kind of tired. Like I'm not even producing good work because I'm so tired. And I need to just take a break and take a breath and just step back and look at things. And that's what I did. Like, I was just like, I just don't have a passion for this no more. So I'm gonna stop. So I started focusing on my photography, which I loved doing. And I was able to marriage that with, helping people build brands and stuff like that. So the advice that I would give people is, just because you're good at something, it's okay not to be passionate about doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I've said this so many times, bro.
Like there's kids that grow up that are amazing singers or amazing ball players, but their parents or someone forced them to do it and they didn't like it and they don't enjoy doing it.
Look, man, you can say the word, bro.
So like it's okay to stop doing something that you're very good at, and do something that you find passionate and enjoy. And if you can marriage the two, great.
Great.
But
Yeah.
that's a perfect world, and it's not going to apply to everybody.
Yeah. I can speak from experience, playing football in college, from when I was a little kid all the way up to high school and college. It was something that I was good at, right? It was something I got recruited for it. I got, some notoriety locally, people kind of knew who I was, at different colleges. But hindsight, after I finished and, post injury, I mean, that story of many athletes having
Right.
injuries. I realized I was like, I was never passionate about football. I was never passionate about it. It afforded me great opportunities. I met
Right.
a lot of great people,
Exactly.
got a free education. Okay, great, cool. I met you. Me and my wife are married with 2 kids now. Like, I'm good. I'm satisfied with what I got out of the deal. But
It was,
hindsight, I realized it wasn't for me.
yeah.
Pursuing it after, maybe playing in Canadian League or making a practice squad somewhere in the league. Like, just wasn't. I wasn't passionate about it. Therefore, I didn't feel like putting my body through anything else. I was like, yo, I'm done. I'm done. And I know I can do other things, and I'm okay with that,
And that's okay. Like, it was a means to an end.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a chapter of your life that you went through, and you pulled what you had to from it. You learned
Mm-hmm.
from it and
Yep.
kept it moving. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And that's okay. Like,
Mm-hmm.
people have to be okay with letting things go, learning from them, and moving on to the next phase of their life.
Yeah, man. Seasons are just that. They're seasons,
Yeah.
So
Some last longer than others.
exactly. What are your best resources that have helped you along the way? That could be, any type of software, people, organizations, what have you.
Honestly, to be real, my best resource was one, following people that were doing what I was doing, but
Got
better.
you. Okay.
Like, I don't have this complex of there. It's always got to be competition. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Or
Like,
know it all.
I know it all. I know I don't know it all. That's
Mm-hmm.
one thing I do know.
Right.
So I'm always trying to learn from people that are doing what I want to do or doing something that I can't do, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
okay studying them and studying on them and asking questions. A lot of people feel like they know it all, so they don't ask questions, or they feel like they don't need no help, and like
Right.
that's stabbing yourself. Like,
Yep.
you're really handicapping yourself to not getting better in what you're trying to do.
Yep.
So I learned from people. I studied under people. I asked questions. I got a lot of, you're gonna have to pay for this information. Sometimes I paid for it. Sometimes I was like, all right.
Yeah.
But there was people out there that actually, like, yo, I've never had someone like be open to, critique or asking
Mm-hmm.
for something. Of course I'll help you. So that was a blessing. And then the second thing is free information online, YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
blog posts. Like, there's so much free information out here. You just have to go out and look at it and consume it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I will
Yep.
say, like, the reason as good as I am with photography is partially due to just like YouTube. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I do like a YouTube Tuesday. Sometimes I miss a day, and I still do YouTube Tuesday on
Yeah.
Wednesday. People
Yeah.
caught me last week and was like, "Yo, it's Thursday." I was like, "Dang." But yeah, like, I watch YouTube every week. I compile all these videos from different people I follow, and I just learn new techniques. I look at BTS videos of how they have things set up.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to how they talk to their clients. I listen to how they pose them. I listen to where they made mistakes and stuff like that. And I just consume it all. Like,
Yeah.
and once it's time for me to do something, I just regurgitate it. You know what I'm saying? I use it and then flip it and use it in my way. So
Yeah. I know for me, I'm one of those people who, I love my iPhone, right? I love my iPhone. I love taking pictures of my kids and, things outside. So I like to call myself a quote unquote iPhone photographer. So one, I know in reality, I know there's a huge difference between an iPhone photographer and a professional such as yourself. So in general, what is one common myth about photography or, fashion or clothes in those fields? What is a common myth that you feel like you should debunk, or, what's the first thing that pops in your head regarding those things?
I think it's that photographers just take pics and then deliver them, which in some cases is true.
Oh, I've seen it.
The market for visual creatives is thick. Like there's so many people doing it, but that's not a reason not to do it. You just separate yourself. You learn. You get better. You create your own style.
Separate yourself.
Yeah. So there's a lot of photographers that just take pics and deliver them, or slap a filter on them and deliver them.
Yeah.
But that's a myth overall, because professional photographers, and you usually can tell by the quality of their work and their pricing, do way more than that. Yep. They set up portals for you to view photos. They high end retouch your photos. They do coloring. They do lighting. They take off a piece of a hair that's coming over your eyelash. They set up your backdrops. They're correctors. They help with your styling. They coordinate your makeup and hair artists. They have consultations with you. Like, there's a lot of work that goes into being a professional photographer, more than just, hey, I'm gonna meet you at the park.
Wear some bright clothes.
You know what I'm saying? Wear whatever you want to wear, and I'll get you the photos whenever. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not what it is. And then on the clothing side, a lot of thought doesn't go in. There's a myth that a lot of these clothing brands just put something on a t-shirt and sell it. And just like with photography, a lot of that is true. Yeah. But brands that actually have a vision and a purpose, they put a lot of work into what they do. Like there's a lot of research that goes into their designs. Like a lot of people, a lot of big brands, like they spend money on research and development, like to make sure that they aren't copywriting on other people's stuff. Gotcha. Like they have actual designers. I'm lucky I don't need a designer because I am one, but I've hired designers in the past and currently to work on stuff because I just don't have the time.
Gotcha.
To get these designs on these shirts, you have to research the right kind of styles of shirts, the right kind of quality of shirts, because my shirts, they aren't, just regular everyday t-shirts that you can find, in Walmart. Like I pick high quality shirts because I want people to feel comfortable in what they wear and feel like what they paid is what they got. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good segue into my next question. I know you mentioned all the work that goes into being a professional. You talk about the quality of the, fabric and all the thought that goes behind what you put, on your clothing or into a photo. Have you ever changed pricing since you started, or did you start to realize, I should be charging more because of, what I'm putting into it?
So for anyone that follows me, they know I changed my pricing on the regular, and I don't go down. I always go up. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I tell people that come to me and ask, how do you pick your charging? And I said, well, if you're charging too much, you will find out immediately because no one will be right paying you. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And then when it's time to up your fee or price or whatever, when you're overwhelmed with clients and you're getting a certain level of clients. Like you're getting clients that want to nitpick, or you're getting clients that want to haggle on the price, or you're getting clients that don't take it seriously. So you raise your pricing, you're going to attract a certain level of client that knows I'm investing my hard-earned money into this. Yep. I expect this, so I'm going to come to the table with what I need to, and I'm going to listen. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's how I know when to raise my pricing. And then I also know once I start to add different features and components and offerings to things, I know I need to raise my pricing. Yeah. Like for instance, like with some packages, I offer printing, like nice prints and stuff like that. So
yeah, I think a lot of creatives, they for the sake of getting notoriety or whatever that looks like, whatever they think that is, they tend to lowball themselves a lot. I see that a lot. and some people just take advantage of those people. And then on, like you said, on the flip side, it's like you got to weigh it out. It's like if you're putting all this energy and time, and you have, you know, an overwhelming number of clients, and they're asking all these different things, you know, very picky, very, you know, touchy. I don't like this. I don't like this. Maybe it's time to weed some clients out and raise that
Exactly.
price. You know what I mean? And that's
That's
just
exactly what it does.
yeah.
It weeds those clients out, because those clients usually wanted to get it for free anyway, or
Exactly.
they don't see the value in your work. They could have went to anybody, but
But they
I feel
can't.
like they went to you because you were either cheaper, or they feel like they know you.
Right.
And that's fine when you first starting out
Mm-hmm.
to do these small projects here and there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I did it with the graphic design and with photography, but after a certain point, you're trading your hours for time, and what you could have been spending 2 hours over here making X amount of dollars, you broke up into an hour here, an hour there, an hour here, and didn't even make nearly that much.
Right.
So if you raise your pricing, you're able to focus and give people the attention and quality that they need and deserve. So if you're just starting out, honestly, I'd say go ahead and raise the prices. Then you'll figure out, you know, where they need to be at based on you know, stuff like that. And it's either you need to lower your pricing, or you need to raise your quality to meet that pricing.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever, in the very beginning, when you were, you know, venturing out as yourself, as your own brand, have you ever did the quote unquote hookups for family and friends, or did you stick to your guns in the beginning? Were you?
Oh, I mean, I still hook up with family and friends now. I have a lot of friends that say, Slim, charge me what you charge everybody else. I want to support you, and I'm blessed to have them.
Right.
And I end up looking out for them anyway. Like I'll throw in, you know, some extra edits, or you know, or do a little bit more for them and stuff like that. But I do have family and friends that just be like, oh, I need this little quick logo.
Yeah.
I ain't really got much money, but I know you're gonna look out for me. And I honestly had to learn to say no. Like,
hey, that's a thing that a lot of us got to learn.
You have to learn how to tell your family and friends no if you want to be successful in business, because it's all love, but sometimes they don't understand your end of things and how things work. So you got to tell them no. They're gonna be upset, but they'll get over it. You know what I'm saying? And if they don't get over it, then that's their problem.
Right, exactly. When you think about it, it's like if your main customer base happen to be your family and friends, would you really be a successful business? Not you, but like just in general, like, you know what I mean?
You wouldn't, because your family and friends ain't that much people.
Exactly. Right. And that's where a lot of people get mixed up. It's like, yeah, I'll help you out, It's like, well, you know, at the detriment to who? To you.
Exactly. And then if you're thinking that you're very, very successful because all your family and friends are buying from you, that's a very small percentage of the wild population that's out there.
Yeah.
Like you're really successful when random people you've never met that have no connection to you start to, you know, come to you and ask you for things. You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
That's how I know when I'm where I need to be. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, I know my stuff is dope.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be toot my own horn or cocky about it, but
hey, you gotta be real with yourself.
I know I do good work. So I know once it's out there, people are gonna like it, and they come to me for that particular quality and style of work.
Yes, sir. So yes, sir.
Once people outside start seeing it, that they're gonna come to you.
That's true. What are you know, maybe 2 to 3 people? It could be close or far as far as relation or whatever. But what are 2 or 3 people that you know of that have influenced you in some way, shape, or form?
Within the photography industry, the guy Chris Charles, he's like a big bro to me. Like I followed him a long time ago online. I was like, yo, he does such dope, beautiful photography. And I followed him for a while, and I ended up meeting him when I invited him to one of my events for photography, and also to my art show, my first art show last year. So Chris Charles, he's a very dope photographer. Also Timmy Lola.
Okay.
Um, she's up in New York now, but also learned from her. And I've also done weddings with her. She's like second shot with her, and she's taught me a lot of things too. And now she's a fan of my work just as much as I'm of her. So that means
That's dope.
And business wise, I'd say my wife Alicia, of course. She's
She has her own
incredible.
brand, and
Yeah, she has her own brands, the Alicia Nicole and Living Over Existing. Like, I've learned so much of her just chilling back and watching her do her thing. And then just the encouragement from, my friends, like childhood friends, college friends, and then after college friends. Like, I'm blessed to have a big support family. Constantly, me in check and asking me questions and just supporting me.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, this has been a dope conversation. I want to tie the whole thing up because this is a Gentleman's Guide podcast, and we like to, like I said, want to get different perspectives. We want to, challenge people's perceptions of Black men in America. But you specifically, I would like to ask you, what does manhood from the Black perspective mean to you, or what does that look like?
Manhood from the Black perspective means to me two parts, and they're very opposite on the spectrum. Is strength and also sensitivity. Strength of being that rock, being that that support that people can depend on, especially your family, and being that leader, but also being sensitive and being understanding to the needs of the people that look up to you and stuff like that, and being vulnerable to being kept in check. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of Black men feel like they have to be this rock, but rocks are solid and they don't move and they're stubborn. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, you done said something now.
They have their uses, but you also need to be able to be flexible and be able to be taught. And we have to, have this understanding of that we're not always right.
Yeah.
That pride that we have as men, as Black men, is strong. Like it's so strong that it can be a problem.
Yeah.
But it's not terribly wrong to have it, but it has to be directed in the right way.
Yeah, and there has to be some balance too, man. It has to be some balance.
Yeah, it's balance. That's why I said two ends of the spectrum. Like we have to meet in the middle.
Exactly.
You have to be strong, but you also have to be open and understanding, and flexible.
Because I think historically or traditionally, generations before us, specifically Black men, or really just men in general, we're socialized to think that a man's place is to only provide. And the older I've gotten, I've realized, being a good husband and a father and a good man in general, that's not the only piece. You have to be emotionally available, emotionally transparent, and learn how to communicate, back and forth with whoever you're dealing with, whether it be your spouse, boss, anybody, you know what I mean? But I think that's a big piece that a lot of, at least guys in our generation, were starting to realize that, this is not, we've been fed a lie, growing up in patriarchy. A lot of people throw that word around, but I feel like patriarchy is the root of everything in this, at least in America. I would say the world, but at the very least in America. But yeah, man, that's it's always a dichotomy, and it always has to be, you have to meet somewhere in the middle. It has to be balanced. That's just life in general. Yeah. But yeah, man. Once again, get the plugs in, bro. Where can the people reach you? Social media, website.
Follow me on IG mainly, at the Slim Creative, and also Grtnes and Company. That's GRTNES and Company. The website for each is both the same, theslimcreative.com and grtnesandcompany.com. I got a lot of great things coming, even during the pandemic. I'll have the scholarship fund and the business grant fund information up soon on the Grtnes and Company website, so people can start donating.
Beautiful, beautiful. If you guys are in the market for a photographer, art prints, anything, go to his website, check him out. He has, beautiful work. He does. To me, I've realized, when you're listening to music and you got your producers that, they have their own sound. You got your Timbaland, you got your Pharrells, these super producers. You can kind of listen to a track and be like, oh, okay, that sounds like a Timbaland. When I look at your work now, bro, like your art, your photographs, I can look at it and be like, yo, that's a slim piece right there. Like I can tell. I don't know if it's the way you edit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it's taken me a while to actually find my style, and I needed to. It was so important for me to find that style, because when people come to me for work, they're coming because they know they want to get that style. Like You don't come to me for someone else's style. Like if that's the case, I'll tell you that just ain't me, and I'll tell you no. That's just not what I do. So I appreciate that you can look at my stuff and finally see a style, even though it varies sometimes. But I'm glad you can see that, because when I look at other photographers that I look up to, I'm like, I know it's theirs before I even look at who it's from. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
yeah, that's a big deal, man. So once again, this is the Slim Creative on the Gentleman's Guide podcast. Happy to have this conversation, man. This won't be the last. And we out.